So it's okay in a class if you fail. Fifth grade or fifth year of college, if you fail, it's okay. It's not the worst. But in life, if we fail, you have to repeat the whole life again. See? My father used to say, and my master also used to say, that there are three scenarios. बेवकूफ लोग जो होते हैं ना, बेवकूफ means idiots, fools. If you tell them that what you have done is wrong, even after committing a mistake, they are unwilling to accept their mistakes. They don't see the fault lying there. They're so dumb. There is another level who understands, yes, I made a mistake. But what are you going to do about it? They have no clue. There are many levels like this. Some people, after showing the mistakes, they accept it and very joyfully try to correct it. There are some intelligent ones who, while committing a mistake, would know, okay, yes, I'm making a mistake. And there are two categories there. Either you'll stop it or continue on the same trajectory. क्या होएगा देख लेते हैं. And the wisest one, who sees before, if I do this, if I speak like this, the results will be like this. So these are the wisest of the lot. See, meditation helps us see things before we act, before even we think. Your intentions becomes very visible to your inner heart. And when your heart perceives that my intention is not right, it will not cooperate with your mind. Mind will not think. And even if it thinks, there will come a time that, okay, I will not do this because it's too much of a headache, as well as my heart is also not agreeing with it. So such individuals who are able to see their trajectory before even they initiate the project, they're the wisest of the lot. And once again, I have noticed that in my business days, or even now while running this organization in 140-50 countries, one do understand that, before I take actions, I must go through the consequences ahead of time. We meditate over it. Sometimes I do consult my colleagues and say, let's all meditate. And then I ask a question, what do you think? There is no ego in consulting our colleagues. In fact, when many colleagues come together and decide one thing and unanimously all say, yes, let's do this, that can be the most successful thing. See? So meditation at an individual level, meditation at a group level, it has its own benefits. And I wish this becomes a culture. So it's okay in a class if you fail. Fifth grade or fifth year of college, if you fail, it's okay. It's not the worst. But in life, if we fail, you have to repeat the whole life again. See? And once you get used to this failing in classes, you become rigid about, and then you keep parents keep crying, my son is still in the 9th grade, he doesn't do anything, he's wasting his time. When is he going to pass out of the school? Same thing happens, to us, to our Lord. When is this fellow going to return back home? When is he ever going to get moksha, liberation, so that we can be together again? But we go on repeating life after life, life after life, life after life. So we have to understand the seriousness of spiritual adventure. We have to put our heart into it. See? One of our senior preceptors during Babuji's lifetime, Dr. K.C. Vardachari, he used to give this example that, if you dig a well for water, 1 foot here, and then you get fed up. And then after 10 days, you dig another 5 feet somewhere else, and then 10 feet somewhere else. You'll never get water. Though you are making an effort, sporadic and unregulated, without plans. Likewise, when we meditate now, and then after some time we meditate, and then after some time we meditate. The other day, I worked in my backyard in the garden. I was removing the soil, and I must have dug almost a foot deep and about 2 feet wide. It took me more than an hour. And then afterward, what happened? After 5 days, when I go to plant a sapling, someone had already filled that 1 foot deep, 2 feet wide pit that I had made. But he was watering the place, and while watering, the rest of the mud that was on the side filled it up again. So I had to dig it again. So either we go on repeating the same thing again and again. So this is what we call wasted efforts. And the problem comes when we get used to this, we become complacent about our journey. But I have to become very restless about my own path. Then it becomes effortless. Moment you bring in this idea of that, oh no, I have to meditate again, it becomes a drag. Now I like to share with you a real story from Napoleon's life. When he was returning back to France after winning, many provinces, there were many loots, many treasures his army was carrying. Some were being carried on the donkeys, some on horses, and some on men. One of the army personnel, soldier on foot, he was carrying something on his back, some treasure, gold treasure. But it was heavy. And soldier was thinking, what is this? I'm carrying all this load, I'm dying, I'm hungry, I can barely walk in this cold. When Napoleon saw this, he asked, what are you carrying? He said, sir, I don't know what I'm carrying. He said, look inside. He looks, he was this tremendous value, gold, all gold and precious jewels. Napoleon says, this is all yours, take it. Just few moments before, he was cursing himself for carrying it. So much of gold and I have to carry this. But all of a sudden, his mood changed. So much of joy radiated from every part of his body. He was unstoppable. He was running back home. Speed you can't imagine. See, a simple change of attitude can fire us up. And simple change of attitude in a negative way can also withdraw and somehow stop our spiritual progress. Not only spiritual progress, in studies also, we have seen enthusiastic children versus those children who find it's burdensome, this aspect of education. There's a vast difference. So cultivating certain level of attitude helps us a lot. See? Even if you pretend, artificially you smile and say, oh, let me do this with joy. Your enthusiasm itself will spread like a contagious disease. Your wife will be also affected by this positive sign. Children with whom you interact will also be affected by positive sign. Even many questions that we ask, your teachers are not cooperating, but because of your enthusiasm, they will also join your hands. They say, wow, there must be something with this meditation. He's always cheerful, he's always smiling. Right? So, I think what I learned today from all this, that we all need to develop certain level of attitude of, passionate enthusiasm, joy in doing our things. People have understood liberation as that no more life and death. But what is wrong? If I may ask you, what is wrong with your life that you don't want to come back? If I have everything I need in my life: food, clothing, good family. And if I can serve those who are in need, I am doing a noble task. So, liberation to me is arriving at a freedom. If I like to come back, I should be able to come back. If I don't want to come back, that is also a kind of a freedom that you have. Absolute freedom. That does not mean no life, no death. No, that is wrong, that you will not be born again. That's a very limited view of it. Salvation is a much lower state where you attain some level of mukti. It's like you are in a jail and they release you on parole for some time and you're back to jail again. See? That parole period is salvation. It's temporary freedom. You are given a break for some time. And depending on what you do during this break, if you end up doing some good things during that break time, that salvation can also become liberation in the future. But that cannot happen unless and until I do something in the now. See? I cannot remain bogged down with my past and so I made this mistake. Of course, everybody makes mistakes. But I cannot keep on worrying about that. Oh, I did this. I cannot be imprisoned in my past, and I cannot become a fanatic, or I cannot become so anxious about my future. See, the anxiousness of the future and imprisoning feeling arising out of my past can never help us attain liberation. We are too busy with the other time zones. Actual liberation comes when you are absolutely free from any sort of conditioning. It's like you're walking into a coal mine with a beautiful white shirt. Even though you may not harvest any coal, yet the nature of the coal mine is that you'll have some specks of coal dust on your shirt. It will get spoiled. Just being there. Consciously or unconsciously, you are quietly sitting in your office, doing nothing whatsoever. Somebody cries and you hear it. Oh, one of the employees crying. Or you're watching a TV and there is an ad, very provocative ad. What happens to you? You are not participating in that act, but that provocating ad captures your mind. See? Someone is crying in the background, it draws your attention. And when you try to meditate in the evening, what happens at that time then? All these things, if you are very conscious of all these things, it will come like a movie reel, unwinding in your mind. Right? But we don't have to worry about it. See, through this heartfulness way, we have many methods, many ways of getting rid of all these impressions that we gather knowingly or unknowingly, and we call it as antahkaran suddhi. And this antahkaran suddhi, it happens through a sankalpa, and this sankalpa is a yogic sankalpa. In order to make it active, we get a training from a preceptor, and preceptors are all over the globe. And even if you don't have someone in your own town, you can use an app, somebody nearby, and they'll walk you through this whole process of meditating, and will also enable to do this antahkaran suddhi.
What if chaos isn't the obstacle, but the doorway to real peace? The next video reveals how.